All right, this week we're continuing our series on hot sandwiches, and you have done a tribute to the Italian-American cuisine. Tell me a little bit about that marinara sauce you made.
Well, the sauce is, it's a basic sauce. You know, you have your basic ingredients. I added in some carrots and celery just to sneak in some vegetables, just because we don't get enough. And but everything else is pretty basic. You know, if you have your family's recipe that you prefer, you know, feel free to use it with these sandwiches. This is just the one that I like. You know, you're using canned tomatoes. I mean, if tomatoes are in season, that's great. If not, then use the cans. I like the San Marzanos, the whole tomatoes, and a can of crushed tomatoes. The whole tomatoes, when you open it up, just squish it around with your hands, crush them up just a little bit, but you're still going to have the good tomato texture. I use basil stems for while you're cooking it. Add a little flavor in there, and then you can add the leaves at the end. We also have some onions and garlic and your basics. If you like wine in your sauce, feel free to add a little wine. Also, if you'd like, and if you have any rinds of Parmesan cheese, you can put those in during the cooking process, and it adds a little bit of that flavor to it, which is nice if you have them around. When I use Parmesan cheese, I'll save the rind, put it in the freezer for when I make sauce, and then just toss it in when I'm ready.
And so you made meatball subs.
Yes.
Any tips for making meatballs?
Yeah, when you make the meatballs, I mean, you can use just about any kind of meat you'd like. You could use chicken or turkey if you prefer. I'm using a mixture of beef and pork. Don't go too lean, no leaner than 80%. You can do 3 meats, 4 meats, whatever you'd like. You can mix together several different ones. You could use pork, beef, and veal. You could use lamb. Different countries, they use all kind of different things. You can even make fish meatballs with ground fish if you'd like. I put down the basic ingredients for flavoring and binding, but you can add different herbs and spices if you'd like. I'm using dried breadcrumbs. If you don't have, you can use packaged dried breadcrumbs. If you don't have those, you can make them yourselves. Just whir some bread in a food processor and toast it in the oven on a real low temperature for about 20 minutes or so until it dries out. If in some parts of the world they soak their bread in milk before they add it into the meatballs. Some places they grind up oatmeal and use it. Whatever you like to do. If you want to experiment with this recipe, you can. But this is the basic ratios that you're going to use, and the eggs as well. And it binds everything together. The Parmesan cheese gives it a nice flavor inside the meatball instead of just on top. So you're going to get a variety of different flavors inside the meatball. And then you're going to finish it by letting it cook in the sauce. If you don't want to do that, you can always finish it in the oven.
Now tell me about eggplant Parmesan subs, because a lot of people don't like eggplant, or they have a negative feelings towards eggplant.
Well, eggplant's really good, and it's a versatile vegetable. You can do a lot of things with it. It has a bad rep for I think, just for the way it looks. People don't really think of it as something good to eat. But it is. It's really quite delicious. You can do a lot of things with it. For this, we salt it first to bring out the bitterness that is common in this type of eggplant. Salt to bring out the moisture, and then you can scrape the salt off, squeeze it a bit, rinse it off, get the salt off. You're not going to be left with a really salty flavor once it's breaded and fried. It's going to turn creamy almost on the inside beneath the breading, which adds a neat contrast of textures. It'll literally melt in your mouth, and you can do a lot of things with eggplant. You can saute it or grill it, or as we're doing, frying it. And when you take it out of the fryer, put it on a rack. You can finish it in the oven if you're getting too much color in the pan. I'm frying it in olive oil, but you can surely use vegetable oil if you like.